Hi everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Berserk Chapter of the Holy Demon War. I got it right this time. We're going to continue from where we left off after Guts had just had to fight the rest of the Band of the Hawk, which was kind of messed up. We're still going through the snowy forest. I can't read any of that. We gotta turn on the cutscene. Gotta turn on the... Isidro? I thought it was Isidro. I think it's supposed to be Isidro in English, but they translated Isidoro in here. Oh, Serpico. See, I got crap from one of my friends for pronouncing her name Farnese instead of Farnese, but we don't really know. I mean, I guess there's the English dub of the 2016-2017 anime, but I refuse to watch it. This so far has been a better adaptation of that anime. It's Gatsu! He's got his little baby sword.
Serpico,
he's like, I don't like this guy. Guts is like, I really don't care, do whatever you want. I really wish. Maybe I'll play Berserk in the Band of the Hawk eventually too, because that game is fine, and it covers everything in Berserk up until the boat. But I wish there was a game like this that covered the Conviction arc, including the Lost Children arc. Because it's so good! I feel like I'm a weird one in that the Conviction arc is one of my favorites. She cut her hair. The translation's still a little weird, but it works. Yeah, I like how Guts is, everyone's like, we wish to accompany you, please, Black Swordsman. And he's like, whatever. I still love how Guts is picking up that multi-hundred-pound sword like it's nothing. It would be nice to have people watch. Yeah, you haven't done that since. Now he has a babysitter for Potato Casca. And another strong female character in her own right. I'm going to keep calling her Farnese, because that's what I've always called her. Unless, like, I can get confirmation that it's supposed to be Farnese, but... Part of me wants to actually, like, do the dialogue, but... So, Guts, where are we gonna go now? But it's already... Yeah, you know what? I'll read through it. I mean, after the Japanese is done, I can just... Let's try to do this. Yeah. We're going to a port town. I'll lead the way. Oh, that's not a Puck. I'll lead the way, everybody. I cannot do Puck. Will he really be okay? I cannot do high-pitched voices, but you know what? I'm gonna give Puck abridged Gohan's voice. Not right now? Hey, more Draugr. So, if any of you actually like Berserk, like, obviously if you're watching this, I don't think anyone watching this YouTube video doesn't like Berserk. I don't know what you're doing if you don't like Berserk watching the video, unless you're just someone I know in my personal life trying to support me. And it's funny because my girlfriend and I actually had an interesting conversation last night, and I did get a little bit upset because she said that she wasn't really a fan of Berserk. You know, she's only seen the Golden Age arc movies. She hasn't seen anything from this stuff. And I told her that's kind of why. And her biggest problem was that there's no strong female characters outside Casca. And that is part of the Golden Age arc movies that is a problem. Like, they cut out the Queen of Midlands. And Princess Charlotte is not a strong female character. And I tried telling her all stuff, but it wasn't even really like, it came down to the fact, like, I thought she was criticizing the story. And a lot of it, some of it was her criticizing the story, like, from what she had seen. But she did like Guts as a character, and Griffith is just supposed to be, like, you're supposed to be surprised that he's evil and then look back at his actions after he starts doing the really messed up stuff. And be like, oh, so Griffith sucks, and he's always sucks. But she was bringing up, so she has ADHD, and I have ASD, Autism Spectrum Disorder. She doesn't like the art of Berserk, which really, like, I was just taken aback. I was like, how do you, but I figured it out. Her favorite animated thing of all time is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar: The Last Airbender is beautiful animation and art, but it's extremely simple. Like, there's no, like, complex artwork to it at all. Berserk is one of the most heavily detailed mangas ever drawn. And you cannot argue that if you try to argue. And she was like, there's just too much detail and it takes me out of it. Because she is very, like when I was complaining when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out about, or Scarlet and Violet, about the graphics, I'm like, I wish Pokemon Sword. She was like, I think this looks fantastic because I don't like hyper detail. Like, she'll watch me play Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok, but she doesn't like how hyper-realistic they look. She would rather... And I think she would probably... She thinks this looks fine because it's not super detailed, but she doesn't like the hyper-detailed graphics, and that goes into art as well. She does not like the hyper-realistic art of Berserk, and I was kind of sitting there and I'm like, you know what? That does make a lot of sense. And a lot of the stuff she likes the animation of is like... Avatar: The Last Airbender, Pokemon. She doesn't like the art of stuff like Berserk, and it's because of the heavy detail. And I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense. She is also, I'm a big fan of show don't tell, and what's one thing I love about Berserk is everything is not exposited to you. Like, there's not really exposition in the way, there is some, but not in the way that, like, a show like Avatar: The Last Airbender or even Game of Thrones would do it. The art, or like a novel, and that's what I normally, if you give me a choice of a manga or a novel, I'm going to choose a novel 10 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10. That 10th time is something like Berserk, where I can read their facial expressions and get what Kitara Mira wants out of the characters. She's the kind of person, and it took me a while to get over this, like, dating her. She can watch a show and not really watch, but listen to what's happening, and still fully understand what's happening. Most of the time. Berserk, that was hard for her because it's a very... You have to watch it, like, a lot of the stuff that happens, there's not dialogue happening. And she eventually got over with the Golden Age movies and did very well with it. I just wasted that long. But... it makes total sense with her style. That's why her favorite things in the world are musicals, because people are just literally singing everything that they did. And it was totally, and I accepted it, and I was like, you know what? But she'll listen to me talk about the story of Berserk all day. Mostly because I make her. I don't make her, but she's a good girlfriend, and she listens to me talk about the things I love. I really do not like these Draugr with the crossbows. Where'd they go? Oh, that's pretty cool. How do you block again? Oh, X. I need to start using the block more. Yeah, get over here, you. Get him! Haha! This technique is inhuman! Yeah, it is. Actually, Actually, I think I might try something. I might try just in the video editing. I might try just dubbing over the cutscenes with my own dialogue and turning down the dialogue volume of the characters, but that'll be an after this recording session thing if I do that. Just so there's English, because my girlfriend tried to watch she can't watch the series because it's in Japanese, and she's a very, well, the point I was getting across is I'm show don't tell. Like, I like exposition, but I don't like too much of it. And in a book, you can show don't tell with, like, hyper description of what's happening and description of facial features. And that she likes because it lets her know what are they supposed to be thinking right then. But she, in like a show or a game, likes tell. She likes exposition. Which is totally fine, and that's a valid way to view media. It's not my type, but we do like a lot of the same stuff because I like musicals too. That's why she likes musicals. And it's just because something I'm going to have to accept that she's never going to be huge into Berserk, even though it's my favorite piece of fiction ever created. And in my opinion, it's so far the greatest story ever told. Like, I love J.R.R. Tolkien and Lord of the Rings and all that, but if you gave me the choice, like Lord of the Rings never exists or Berserk never exists, bye-bye Lord of the Rings. You are not as good in my opinion. That's my opinion. Also, I'm not going to try to say here and say that Berserk has inspired more media than Tolkien, because that would just make me a fucking idiot. Let's be real. That would just make me an idiot. Heal me, Puck. Thanks, Puck! We also got in the conversation, one thing I like, how do you guys feel about characters who are super goody two-shoes the whole way through? And an example I'll pull from is, I'm a big fan of the Avatar series, just like my girlfriend is, but it's not my favorite by any means. And I like Korra better than Avatar because I enjoy Korra as a character better than Aang. Because to me, Aang he does not grow enough as a character. And I feel like the biggest thing that makes that apparent for me and why I'm not as big a fan of Avatar as it could be, is I do not like, spoilers for Avatar The Last Airbender, by the way, I do not like the idea of a character just not, it's the same problem I have with Batman. The no-kill thing. I feel like Aang would have grown so much more as a character if he killed Fire Lord Ozai. Because, and this is my thing, pacifism is an okay policy to live by in the real world, our world. In the world, fantasy worlds like Avatar, it is more of a hindrance than a help. And that happens numerous times in Avatar, where Aang's pacifism causes problems, including Fire Lord Ozai. And I don't like how he's given a get-out-of-jail-free card with the I took away your bending. It's like, that is such a cop-out to me. Because I feel like what's done better, and with a younger character even, and a lot of people are like, oh, he's a kid. You know who else is a kid? Gohan. And I feel like Dragon Ball Z original does it pretty good, but the abridged, I actually think does it better with Android 16 telling Gohan, I think it's like, you stick to your guns to your last whimper as your bloodstained, as your rigid pacifism crumbles into bloodstained dust. And as Cell puts it when Gohan, it's like, no, I'm just a pacifist. Cell says, so, a coward patting himself on the back. That's great, kid. You can stand proud next to the bodies. And I was talking about how I like Guts' character more because, yeah, he's never ever been a pacifist, ever. But he starts out as an incredibly violent, outright, especially in the Black Swordsman out, cruel person. And granted, in the Golden Age arc, he starts out as a cruel person and learns to grow and trust people. And then that's ripped away from him with the Eclipse. And then in the Black Swordsman arc, he tries to become a cruel and heartless person, but he still helps people even though he doesn't want to. And that's good character. But then, after the Black Swordsman arc, with the other arcs, he grows as a character. Like, that's what we're seeing here, him growing, learning to trust people, learning to be a good person, learning to show his emotions other than anger, learning to be a good guy. But he is not a pacifist in any of that. He knows, especially in the world of Berserk, pacifism is going to do nothing but get people I care about fucking killed. And that's my thing. Like, and obviously Batman's not a pacifist, but I cannot stand Bruce Wayne. Like, even Clark Kent, even Superman will kill if he has to. And Spider-Man has a no-kill rule, but he will break it if he absolutely is pushed. Batman's no-kill rule causes so many more problems than good. And that's like, if you kill a killer, you're no better than the killer. The amount of killers stay the same. The Punisher, that's why I kill a lot of them. But that's why I always like Guts better than characters like Aang, or like even Gohan better than Aang. But it's different kinds of opinions of different people. And I have real life in the opinion that pacifism can only get you so far, and sometimes violence is the answer. Not as much in the real world, obviously, but you guys know what I mean. Like for Guts, he has no choice. Oh, that's lots of zombies. More zombies? Okay, cool. I'm not saying that. I'll show you my skills. No, that doesn't work. It's too much for you. I was not expecting that facial image. Or Pak Kyomi. Yeah, it's just something I've thought about like a lot. Like after last night with my girlfriend talking about that, like I understand why, and it's not even the hyper violence she doesn't like, but the grotesque imagery is too detailed for her. And even the beautiful imagery, I was showing her some of the more beautiful manga panels, and she was like, yeah, that's really pretty, but it's too much for my brain. There's too much going on. Like, even panels of just Guts, she's like, that is just too much, it's too detailed. Which is totally valid. And I'm wondering for you guys in the comments, if any of you want to talk about, what do you prefer? A more hyper detailed, like, obviously if you're watching a Berserk video, you're probably going to be more akin to watching stuff like Berserk. But if you had to choose between something like, here's a good example, something like Berserk in the manga or Bleach, because Bleach is notorious for having extremely simplistic manga panels with almost no background at all. And I showed my girlfriend some Bleach panels, and she was like, I like that better than Berserk. Which I feel like most people, including me, would be like, that is just insane to me, liking Bleach's art better than... And Bleach is also another one of my favorite anime. But I understand, after calming down and talking to her about it, I fully understand what she's talking about. It's not my thing, but it's hers. And it's valid. And we're killing a lot of zombies right now. And this gives me a lot of time to just talk about things when we're just in the missions, just hacking. And I know I could just blitz my way through to the next checkpoint, but I don't wanna. I'm having so much fun with this. Right in your face, buddy. Also, Shadow of the Earth Tree was announced, and that's a good time for me to announce. After we finish Baldur's Gate 3 on the channel, alongside this Berserk game, I am going to be doing a completely new playthrough of Elden Ring with you guys in preparation for Shadow of the Earth Tree, and then Dragon's Dogma 2 when it comes out. I'm undecided if I'm going to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for you guys. Maybe not a blind playthrough. Maybe a second playthrough. Because that's a game I kind of want to play on my own, I think. Unless you guys really want. Maybe I'll do a poll. Dragon's Dogma 2 or Final Fantasy VII. For me personally, I want to play Dragon's Dogma 2, and that's kind of my channel's thing has been like fantasy RPGs, with the exception of the 2 episodes of the Pokemon LP that then died because I didn't have, because my emulator broke. I'm gonna try to fix that and come back to that eventually, but Berserk and Baldur's Gate are the priority right now, and then Elden Ring. And obviously when Shadow of the Erdtree comes out, we're gonna be playing the shit out of that. But also, if you guys love Berserk, if you're on this one probably, right? And I think my original point got eclipsed by me talking about the conversation me and my girlfriend had. But if you guys like Berserk and stuff like Baldur's Gate and Elden Ring, when my book series finally comes out, Chronicles of Rivera, if you want to watch the D&D campaign I'm running set in my homebrew world, it's over on Lakeside Legends. Will be uploaded on my channel now, soon. But it's that's the world my book's gonna be based in. I'm going to be making some changes to the story and timeline for the book series, and the book series will be starting way before, not way before, but there's been some NPCs in Chronicles of Rivera, like Koragar and Kylan. Those are gonna be the main characters of my book series. And I'm also making some changes, like I'm gonna stay away from anything Dungeons and Dragons, like coded like. I'm gonna have my own versions of Bahamut and Tiamat that are not like the exact same as theirs. I might keep Bahamut very similar just because Final Fantasy does the same thing, like Platinum Dragon, but Tiamat, I might rename my version of Tiamat and do something completely different. But they never end. At this rate, we're risking being overwhelmed. I should be able to handle it alone. Retreat! I gotta do a different voice for guts. Probably just Koragar's. No. But anyway, what I'm talking about with that is, my book series is kind of a mix between Berserk. If Berserk had... Not as dark as Berserk. My book series is not going to be as much of a dark fantasy as Berserk is, if I'm being completely honest. And then with that, if you combine Berserk with kind of like a Dragon Age, just kind of a little bit of Dragon Age, and what am I looking for here? Crap, I had the thing in my head. Oh my god, this is going to annoy me now. It's like we take Berserk, make it less pure dark fantasy and more high fantasy, and with elements, the high fantasy elements are going to be there from the get-go, like, and there's going to be multiple realms of existence. Berserk mixed with Dragon Age and Norse mythology. I do use some Norse gods, and like the Great Wolf Fenrir and Jormungandr the World Serpent, but I only use 3 Norse gods, and I've blended them into my entire homegrown pantheon of 15 gods. So if you're interested in that, I will have a book coming pretty soon, and I do have my, like I said, if you want to get a glimpse at the world and the lore, look over at Lakeside Legends for that D&D playthrough. But anyway, won't it be hard to break through enemy lines with Casca and Farnese with us? Good point. Guts. Why don't we attack the enemy separately? Especially since there's a lot of them around here. Let's regroup when we've reduced their numbers. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good plan. Hey, Puck! What was that good point about? The point that Pickling made, of course. You liar. Zombie mercenaries, obliterate the mercenaries scattered in the area. Okay. But, my character Koragar, he doesn't have as dark a story as Guts, but he has a dark story. Can I go through here? Oh. But, with that, I have a homebrew race of creatures, I guess not homebrew, in my story, I could just say an original race of people called Pulsar. They're basically humans who are abnormally large and live a lot longer. Like, kind of like half-elf time span, but they are human. Yeah, they're not human, they're their own species, but they're related to humans, they're like distant cousins. And they're kind of Norse-based. Basically, Koragar is a barbarian. So I have a protagonist, but I also don't, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of going to be Berserk in nature where there is a protagonist, but there's a group of people to play that Koragar travels with. And he does start working for a mercenary group called the Silverfist Mercenaries, which I know a lot of you reading Berserk are that's going to make you immediately distrust the two commanders, Delana and Crotum. Y'all are immediately going to distrust Delana and Crotum. I know you guys are. But you don't worry, they're trustworthy. But what we're doing with that, Korgar is kind of the protagonist, but there's kind of a secondary. There are kind of four protagonists. So there's Korgar, who is a Kolsar warrior who does not wear really a lot of armor. He wears like a leather breastplate or maybe even a fur vest. I haven't decided which yet. With fur over his shoulders, and he wields a massive axe. Maybe I might make it a great sword, kind of like Dragon Slayer inspired, but right now it's going to be a very large axe. And he's about 7.5 feet tall, so the axe is like it's heavy for him. Then there's his partner, who is another lieutenant. He's a captain, and she's another captain named Kira. She is going to be what I call a Talon, basically my equivalent of Tiefling's ranger. And she's going to have an animal companion, and she's got I haven't decided if it's going to be a wolf, a fox, or whatever, maybe even a boar. And she's going to be darker skin, darker hair, with a bow and scimitar. Then there's going to be Kylan, who is Korrigar's protege. He's a lieutenant of their group, and the three of them are going to go off on an assignment, and they're going to encounter a young girl named Ada on the way. Kylan is going to be very paladin inspired. He wears silver armor. He wears very silver armor, and he silver dragon designed armor. He really is dragon in code. He likes dragons a lot. And he's a young guy. He is a human, and but he has an extended lifespan due to his family's lineage being descended from some sort of divine nature, very, very distantly descended. And he is going to be a sword and shield paladin type, but not a lawful good paladin. He's going to have more anger issues than anyone else in the party, funny enough, including Korrigar. And then Ada is going to be I've decided on half elf or high elf, full-blooded high elf, and she's going to be kind of a cleric, and she's going to be a sorcerer. She's going to be their spellcaster, but she's going to have a sword for close quarters when she needs it. And that's just for the first book. There's going to be multiple other characters, but those are my four main characters, and they each have their own stories. And it's going to be really fun, and I'm really excited. I've got the overview of the book done already, so if that's something that interests you. It's a world heavily inspired by Berserk, Norse mythology, and I have my own home pantheon with So I have 3 Norse gods that I just shamelessly stole. But I made them my own. Odin is not the chief deity, he's one of the main deities. But instead of calling him the All-Father, I call him the Raven Father. And my creator god, his name is Adon, and he is just known as the All-Creator. He created everything. And elves worship some of and the cool thing about the Pantheon is some are worshipped by elves, some are worshipped by humans. There's a dark group of them called the Dark Triad, who are still technically part of the Pantheon, but they're more evil gods. Like Caius, my vampire god, my god of shadow, vampires worship him. Moraval, my god of beasts, worshipped by a lot of my lord of beasts and violence. I stole a name from Elden Ring, and I'm Godfrey, my god of war. His daughter is Annabeth, the goddess of hatred, retribution, and vengeance. But she's not considered an evil god. Oh, I missed out. That's kind of cool. I love the animations in this. Man, how many do I have to kill? Man, a lot of the padding of this game is just going to kill a lot of enemies. But it gives us time to chat about things. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of dragons. So there is one of the original dark gods is a great dragon called Herumor. He was a huge dragon that was once a good god, but got jealous of his father Adon showing love to the other god, his younger sibling gods. So he decided to marry a Fae woman and have 5 children with her. 2 of them stayed good. 2 of them betrayed their father and became good, and 3 of them sided with their father and were evil, and were thus sealed away. So there's Herumor is the chief, is the great dragon, the primordial dragon, who fathered the 5 great beasts. The oldest being Bahamut, who stayed good. Fenrir, the great wolf, who is evil. Evil. He just wants to kill all the gods and eat them. Jormungandr, the world serpent, who wants to eat all of the mortals and all of the realms and devour it. Then Garulana, who's my own creation, she is a great eagle, the storm eagle, who befriends Thor and ends up siding with the gods. And this is all lore, so this isn't spoilers really, it's just lore for my world that we talked about a little, but it's just background lore. And then the youngest, Tiamat. I might change her name for my actual series, and she's not going to be a 5-headed dragon god. I also do dragons a lot different than D&D. I don't hate, but I dislike the whole chromatic good, metallic, or chromatic bad metallic good. So I do something different where there's different types of gods. There's like mages dragons who are spellcasters, and they don't necessarily have a breath weapon, but they can cast a multitude of spells. So their attacks are not as powerful as other dragons, but they're way more versatile. And their horde is mortal spellcasters, and they form prestigious wizard organizations because of it. There's so many of these I have to kill right now. And then storm dragons, who are very wind, rain, lightning based. Flame dragons, who are the most common. And their colors are tied to what type of dragon they are, but not their flame dragons are red, green, or orange. Storm dragons are purple, usually, or brass, or bronze. Frost dragons are white or brass. Then I had Titan dragons, who are just large, powerful, physical dragons who have scales made of steel, stone, iron, or copper. And then I have Radiant dragons, who are gold or silver, I think. Is there any more? Yep, there are. And then I had Death dragons, who are black dragons, which is black blood bone dragons. And they all have different breath weapons, but a lot of them are different types of flames. So I do things a little differently, and that's why my Tiamat equivalent, my Bahamut equivalent, are going to be very different than D&D. So if you like stuff like that, I know I've just rambled on about my book in this Berserk video, but I'm heavily inspired by Berserk for my book. But it's just not as dark. It's going to be dark fantasy, but I more than likely, 99%, will not be using any elements of sexual violence, just because I don't like that kind of stuff. I understand why it's in Berserk and why it's used. But even Kizaru Mira was I hate that I used it at all in early Berserk. Or not at all, but as much. And I kind of agree with him that it shouldn't be. Have I been able to move on? I've been able to move on this whole time. I feel stupid now. I thought I just had to kill a certain amount. Maybe I missed a text from Serpico or something. But yeah, but I will have a lot of the violence and the other dark elements that are in Berserk will definitely be there, and villains are going to do what villains do. It's going to be very violent, so be warned. I mean, if you like Berserk, you probably like violence, so there's going to be a lot of violence in my book series. And a lot of emphasis on deities and demons and monsters, but also human politics. Kind of like you took Berserk, mixed it with Game of Thrones, not really Game of Thrones level politics, but Dragon Age level politics and Norse mythology. And one of the main characters, Korrigar, he doesn't really like the politics because he's a big Viking barbarian man. But he's not dumb. I hate the premise of dumb barbarians because I like characters like Guts. Guts is not a dumb guy. Is he the sharpest knife in the crayon box? No, but he's not dumb. Okay, we're gonna try to move on. Sorry guys, that was just random. I mean, I'm sure you guys like listening to me ramble while I skill things. And if you guys are interested in that, I will be uploading Chronicles of Revera to my YouTube channel eventually. But if you guys, the actual play series I have, but it's on Lakeside Legend, you want to check it out. But anyway, I would be interested in doing like videos about the lore, like just me talking about the lore, kind of Vati Vidya, if y'all are interested in that, like Vati Vidya style lore of my homebrew, of my, I stop calling it homebrew because it's just my book world. Alright, back to the gameplay. Slicing and dicing! Spriggan! I came all this way for a Spriggan, didn't I? Okay. Okay, we're just gonna run. Okay. I'm glad when they catch up to you, they don't just attack. Because, like, a lot of people argue with me that Guts is not a barbarian, he'd be a fighter, but barbarians can be very skilled. I will see the argument for fighter, but that's about it. But, here's the thing you guys are forgetting. Guts is not wearing heavy armor unless he's in the Berserk armor. That armor he's wearing is not heavy. It's medium armor. That's half plate's medium armor. If we're going by D&D things, barbarians can wear medium armor and they don't lose any benefits from raging. The only thing they lose is their unarmored defense. Because they're wearing armor. Guts can fully wear armor and be medium armor and be a barbarian. And he is. Get him. Oh. Get him. Get it. Woohoo! This better be the way out. I do remember reading on the reviews of this game that one of the things that they were like, hey, it's a little long, is because there's a lot of padding. And it's probably from stuff like this. But I'm fine with it because I just get to talk. And I like to talk. In Baldur's Gate, it's hard for me to find time to talk because I'm so focused. And it's like focused, like looking for things in strategy. So like I'm actually excited to play Elden Ring because I know I'll be talking a lot more than I did in Baldur's Gate. Also, maybe I should just take drink energy because I took I'm on a cut right now. So the thermogenic I take, for those of you who know about fitness, it helps burn water weight and a little bit of body fat and calories faster. It also got caffeine in it. And it's got an energy drink for the caffeine, so I'm wired. Hopefully it don't work tomorrow. Go, Guts, go. And I did get a new job, but I'm making damn sure that my new job is not cut into the content for you guys. Mostly because I've already finished Baldur's Gate 3. Not uploading, but I finished the recordings. Dogs with people faces are fucking weird. Boom. Goodbye, Ducky. Oh, hey, look, it's the camp. Yay. Ugh. I hope my microphone's been on this whole fucking time. It has. Sorry guys, what just happened? Enemy camp sighted! What now? Kick them! We're gonna kick their ass! Enemy camp of dead people? Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. I do like Puck's little intermissions cutting in because it adds to the ambience. I know if it was in English, it'd probably annoy me way fucking more. Also, there's no excuse for there not to be an English dub of the Berserk and Avenge the Hawk game. That pissed me off. Also, fuck you, Berserk 2017-2016 for not bringing back the original voice cast. I keep hearing rumors that the people who did Castlevania want to make a Berserk anime, and gods, I hope they do. That's probably one of my favorite new anime. I don't like a lot of new anime, if I'm being completely honest. Goblin Slayer I liked, but I, once again, hate the gratuitous SA. And even for Goblin Slayer, there was no point to it, and that pissed me off. It put me off of the anime for a long time, and I came back and watched it later. Goblin Slayer Abridged is fucking hilarious, though. And also, if I hear one person and one of my friends is like, oh, you should watch Sword Art Online, I'm like, I watched the first season, wasn't impressed at all, and then I saw the elf shit and the blatant rip-off of the Eclipse moment with Casca, with Asuna, and I was like, what? I knew he was the guy who, I don't even know his name, the guy who wrote Sword Art Online was heavily inspired by Berserk, but then why he make his main character the twink of all twinks? And I was like, well, in Japan, that's more popular. Fuck that. There is no way. I mean, I get it. It's a video game. But no Twinkie dudes like making Twinkie dudes as their video game avatars. Oh, right. But there was the whole cold light of day thing where he was like, aha, you're not going to get to see. I'm going to make you look like as you actually look. Ma ha ha ha. And then I like how the abridged of Sword Art Online went moderately attractive 20-somethings. Huh. Good for you. Kind of hampers the whole cold light of day thing I was planning. Except for you, Betty. Bring down to earth. But SAO is the abridged is better than the actual show, which is sad. That's the last of them. Let's get rid of the rest of them at the other base. Let's get rid of the rest of them at the other base camps. I just realized that Kylan kind of my character Kylan has somewhat similarities with Serpico, but also vast differences. Oh my god, I have to conquer all the camps. This is probably going to be a long episode. Is there a way to pull up the... I have to clear out all of those camps? Okay, this is going to be a long one. Might cut this one down. Okay, yeah, we're just going to walk through. But, anyway, I say but a lot. You guys can probably do a drinking game with how often I say but. Or so. I did not realize I had to clear all those camps. Yeah, fuck y'all. I'm running past. The EXP is not worth it. I was gonna say something. But yeah, Kylan has some similarities with, Serpico, just on appearance levels, but he's a little bit more buff, and it's like not many other similarities at that point. Oh. Other than appearance. His personality is very different. And Ada is nothing like Farnese. Casca, or not Casca, I think call it. Kira does share some similarities with Casca, I will admit. Well, I'm not going to spoil who's love interests. It'll be disadvantageous to fight here. Let's attack them separately and finish them off. Yeah, good idea. Can I go in here yet, or do I have to go around still? Fuck you, game. There's another one down here. We're gonna go to this other one. Actually, we're gonna go to... We're gonna go to the camp menu, yes. And we're not gonna end the episode here, but we're still gonna save. Because only you can prevent lost save data. Raise the level. 35,000. Let's up the arm cannon and our berserker gauge. I need to upgrade Puck too, shit. I need to save up experience to upgrade Puck after I upgrade everything else. Because upgrading your Puck is important. And there's another one down there. I would cut, but I think we're just going to keep rolling. And I'm not going to cut to when we get to them because I'm just going to talk. And if there's ever... I'll go back in editing and cut things out if I'm not talking much. Hate him guts. I do appreciate how even though there's a lot of the same enemy, there are still different enemy types. And I'm sure we're still in the very beginning of the game. Because I know this game goes all the way up until... I think it's supposed to cover the whole Hawk of the Millennium Empire? Or the Millennium Falcon arc. I refuse to do that because I like Star Wars, but it does not need to be mentioned in the same breath as Berserk. Yes, I have that unpopular opinion that Star Wars is mid. And the prequels are, at least Revenge of the Sith, is the best Star Wars movie. And if you disagree with me, what's it like being wrong, bruh? I like the strong attack, but it doesn't do a whole lot. But yeah, on the news of things inspired by Berserk, since we're talking about my book, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out soon, and like I said, I may play that for you guys. I'm still very undecided on that. Wait, was I able to go down from here? That's the only other way to get there, I think. So this is going to be kind of character action-y, like looking around the map. Very Drakengard, honestly. This game is what I wish Drakengard 1 was. I love Drakengard. One of my favorite games of all time. But this feels like what Drakengard should have been. Drakengard 1 at least. Drakengard 2, I love the gameplay. The story's okay. I do plan on going back to that playthrough. I know I started it. Oh, and on the news, though, I was talking about my Elden Ring playthrough earlier. I am not going to be continuing. If any of you watched the old stream VODs I did, I'm going to be starting over because I don't like having my Let's Play series be stream VODs. When I haven't streamed in a long time, but when I start streaming again, I will probably update the VODs. Just to do it. And, I'll upload the VODs whenever I do stream, but I don't think I want my Elden Ring playthrough for the channel to be a continuation of the VOD. I'm going to start over. I'm still going to be playing as Korrigar, my barbarian, and much shorter than he is, because there's no height scaler in Boulders, or in... I've been Elden Ring. I've been playing, Dragon's Dogma 1 on my own in preparation for it coming out, because I don't think I have time to beat it before it comes out for you guys. And I do like how I can make Korrigar as far as possible. Korrigar is my go-to. I either make Korrigar Kylan or sometimes replace one of my female characters. I have 8 Discord messages, and it's all from the D&D game that I blew off today. I wonder if the great mercenary band perished here. Yeah, who knows? If that's really the case, shouldn't we call you Captain after all? Here they come. Here they come! Yeah, you know what? I don't care. I'm recording on my own. I can be loud. Die! Rip you all to pieces. I need a cosplay, guys, but then I have to cut my hair down, and I love my flowy locks. You know what? I could be long hair, Guts. Guts is the epitome of masculinity, and long hair is masculine. And if you say it's not, all of history would beg to differ. Viking culture, Native American culture, Dothraki culture. There's so many cultures that equate long hair with masculinity and virility. Oh, I just upgraded the cannon. Let's see how that goes. Oh, I love that move. God, it's just so fun to play. So I have my wooden dragon slayer, and I was swinging it around yesterday, and realized that there was already a crack in the blade from like when I was making it. I didn't make it properly, and I think it's time to make a new one, which makes me sad because I made that thing when I was like 21 years old. It was the first cosplay prop I ever made. I've still never cosplayed that, which is sad. But I'm just very. And I'm getting back into woodworking, so I'm probably going to make another one. Let me know if you guys want that on the channel too, like my woodworking builds, because I'm making Beauregard's axe and Kylan's shield and all that too. Let me know if you guys want that on the channel, like tutorials on how I make my weapons and armor. I'll absolutely upload those. I will absolutely do that for you guys. And also, but yeah, a lot of my cosplay stuff, you guys have seen my shorts. All of my shorts, I did not make my paladin armor. I will clarify that. I did not make Kylan's armor, but I did make Beauregard's leather armor and his axe. So for those of you who played WoW, you know that axe is Gorehowl from. Which I just made replica of Gorehowl, but I'm going to be making his own, an original axe very soon. That's actually my next project. My next project is going to be that new axe and another version of the Dragon Slayer. Because it's fun. I love making weapons and armor. I'm actually about to finish the Wolf Knight Greatsword from Dark Souls. But much bigger. I made it 6 feet. I made it like Dragon Slayer height. Yeah, if you guys want crafting stuff on the channel and like more cosplay content that I just do in my shorts, let me know and I'll upload them. I honestly will, and I think it'd be really good. Come on, guys, die! Oh, come on. Fuck! I do like how he recharges quickly. Get him, Guts. I'm trying to think what this. Yeah, I will put that stuff on the channel, all of my crafting vids, and I think it'd be fun. And I can even do like tutorials on like how I do the crafting and stuff. It's mostly woodworking and leatherworking, so it costs money to do. So, but if you guys want that, I'll put it on here. Picoline, he's doing great, isn't he? Picoline, he's doing great, isn't he? I forgot that's what he calls Serpico. But yeah, I think that'd be fun. I will absolutely be putting my tutorial on how I make Dragon Slayer on the channel. Because that just sounds so fun to me. What if I get jumped out from here? Spriggan! yeah. I did again. But yeah. Make a drinking game. Every time Horrible Friend says, but yeah. And also, I'm so hyped for Berserk Chapter 376. I need it in my life so bad. 4 minutes. So we're going to enter the camp menu, and we're going to actually end this episode here, guys. We're going to save real quick. And thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Berserk Chapter of the Holy Demon War. I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. And if you guys do comment on the videos, comment below. Say what you want to do. I'd love to see it. Thanks for watching.